Major 5 continues now, the penultimate tournament. We have penultimate match of the tournament as Toronto Ultra, they make their way into the arena, into the stage, truly warmed up, ready to go by now, I'd hope. But this is going to be a banger. Elimination finals now, as they will take on OpTic. OpTic with a hard-fought battle to get through Dallas Empire. They find themselves here now, and chance this is gonna be a banger. We run it back from a winner's bracket matchup that they had in round 2, where Ultra sealed the deal in a 6-2 Express Game 5. But now, retribution, the opportunity for OpTic to right the wrongs of that winner's matchup, or for Ultra, another shot at a grand finals, and another shot at Røkkr, who sent them here on a 3-0 in that winners finals. This is going to be one hell of a contest, and as you can see, friends, Major 5 was one hell of a comment. If you haven't caught up on it, all the VODs available on YouTube. You can catch up on those now. You can hit pause now. Here's the cool thing about YouTube. You can hit pause, don't look at social media, and you never know, you might just be able to go back, watch all those good games, and then catch up, hit play, stay off social media, and then keep watching this one out, and you're like, man, that was a crazy tournament, condensed into like a day. A little bit of fast forwarding here or there. You never know. One of the beauties of working on YouTube. My name is Miles. His name is Chance.
And I would definitely start with Seattle versus FaZe, by the way. I'm sorry, if there's any match that you're going to have to start to watch first, it would be there. But you're set up right. It is the revenge story for both of these teams. Toronto looking to get revenge on Minnesota, who knocked them into losers. And, well, OpTic trying to get revenge on Toronto, who knocked them in losers. But for my mind, in OpTic, it's twofold. The year that they've had, Game 5, Round 11s have been a thorn in their side. In Stage 1, it was Dallas that beat them in a Game 5, Round 11 that sort of messed up their Stage 1 performance. They just got revenge for that. A couple stages later, it's Toronto in Stage 3 who beat OpTic in a Game 5, Round 11 to end their tournament run. So this is who OpTic's trying to get revenge on. They're just trying to take them down one by one.
One by one. Well, let's just get on with it, shall we? The fans are ready. We're ready. I'm sure you at home, you're ready to rock and roll as well. It's now time to welcome back onto the stage your very own OpTic Chicago.
Almighty keeps it going. Normal, looking fantastic. Envoy slaying his way through. Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score up.
I'm gonna make it bad, make it bad, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic game in a back.
Chicago are a force to be reckoned with.
And now, your OpTic Chicago!
Had to do it once. Had to get it out there at least once. All right, let's get it. It's going to be one hell of a matchup, Chance. We've already seen them against Toronto so far, but look at the way they just whooped Dallas. How are we thinking about OpTic?
I mean, honestly, just looking at that respawns as of late, when their rotation's on point, they look unstoppable. And for what it's worth, for the series they played against Toronto the other day, it was the same story. Their respawns were still on point. It was search and destroy that was the issue against the Ultra, but also a search and destroy where the pick and ban's a little bit different this time. OpTic making the adjustments, and you can just look at the intensity on their faces. They are ready for this match.
It's the most intense, the most focused I think we've seen them all year long. For everyone who watches their content online, process, shout out to Roger and everyone on the crew works on that one. The journey this team has gone through this entire year has been that of utter heartbreak, and now they are truly peaking at a very, very important time, as this one, this is the rematch that they've always wanted. This is the team that's knocked them out of this majors before, looking for that revenge. That team is about to walk out on the stage. Major 2 champions, looking to find another one here in the stage before we get to champs. Ladies and gentlemen, your former Kings of the North, Toronto Ultra.
Yeah. Hey. I'ma get right in my bag. Why you gonna try to get mad? Everybody wanna keep up. Don't you know I move too fast? I'ma zip right past. Drip all on my swag. Why you trying to size me up? You don't wanna try your luck. Hot as a stove, what did you know? Burn like coal, yeah, you know I go. Way too hot, yeah, really too cold. I'ma keep going till I hit my goals. Better get back when I'm in my zone. Do it for the ones that I know back home. Did it myself, they ain't put me on. Don't you call back if you hear that song.
It was a Game 5 thriller that got Ultra in through the winners bracket, and they've already beaten OpTic in the tournament so far. Now we welcome to the stage Toronto Ultra. What? boo them. They're lovely boys. But Charles, again, a team like this may have faced their fair share of adversity. Not easy being a European Call of Duty player in a North American world, but so far, man, they've put up an incredibly consistent performance throughout the year. One of the standout teams, without a shadow of a doubt. But this, Chance, is a very, very different playing environment that Ultra are used to.
I mean, at the same time, though, they're just being booed because they've had OpTic's number pretty much all year long. February 24th is the last day where OpTic beat Toronto the very first time they played. And, well, one roster change gets made and everything has been different for this team since then. They won the next 3 series against OpTic. And, again, those search and destroys a massive reason why. But these 4 players, the only 4 outside of Atlanta FaZe that have won a tournament all year long. They're looking to reclaim that title once again at Stage 5 right before the playoffs. And that is a team, when they are on point, they are just disgustingly good.
Some of the most exceptional teamwork in the league. Chance, we've touched upon it many times before, but for this, a very important series. Let's do the game for your keys to victory. Walk me through Toronto first, my friend. This should be a banger.
Well, one, the fact that their respawn just haven't been great. It's not just the hard point, same thing with the control. Toronto's entire run has been off the backbone of their S&D gameplay. That is not going to be acceptable and not going to be able to work for these next 2 series. You're going to have to start winning at least one of those respawns, if not 2, through and through. That being said, because their S&D has been so good, if they can just keep finding those sections of the map where their teamwork, again, just mechanical. They have run through the simulation, seen every situation 1,000 times. They know how all their teammates are going to react, and they play so many of these things perfectly. As long as things don't get too mixy for them, and S&D, again, it is a thing of beauty when these guys play. And also, just keep following up CleanX, man. He has been a machine in this major. I mean, he is the entry man, ripping ARs off ahead. He's CleanX. He's having one hell of a tournament so far.
He is indeed, mate. He really is. Let's get the keys to victory now for OpTic, mate. What are they got to do to take the win over Toronto today?
Well, I think one thing Minnesota Røkkr did phenomenally well against Toronto is prepared for like all the weird angles that they have, right? You got Insight showing off some fancy stuff on both Raid and Standoff. You have even angles from Vance playing top green on Garrison. He's pulling these out of the bag and making these key adjustments in big plays. Well, Minnesota was prepared for that. OpTic needs to be prepared as well. Obviously for S&D, if that has been such a strong point for the Ultra, if you lost both the S&Ds against this team just a few days ago, well, you're gonna have to change up those strats. And again, you're just trying to find the ways to knock them out of their rhythm. You never want to see Vance, for example, on Express up top maps, sitting there, Insight and Vance together. Not a fun duo to have to deal with. You gotta find ways to just not let them get set up in the situations. And well, one of the best ways to not have to deal with Express S&D at the very least, if it's not going to be picked. OpTic banned Miami this time around, which the bad news is it's a Raid S&D for Game 5. That being said, last time these 2 guys played on Raid S&D against each other, OpTic has at least gone to round 11 against them. It's close, but Toronto, oh baby, do they love having that Raid in the back pocket.
Oh, and it's exciting again. A few of these maps have been played before in their winners bracket series a few days ago. This Garrison hardpoint to start us off as well. This was a victory for Ultra. It was a 250 to 134 on Garrison. We'll see if OpTic, in their newfound confidence, I don't know what the hell they did in like less than 24 hours to go from the team we saw in winners to the team that just put, you know, Dallas in a body bag. What the hell happened? We'll find out though. The only other thing to really take note of, I suppose, is that control map. OpTic won that one 3-2, incredibly close in the winners game. In Miami this time, we do get treated to Moscow. And this should be a lot of fun.
Moscow map that we'll eventually see, the Garrison hardpoint. Apparently to kick things off, these 2 guys have traded this map in the past. And keep in mind, for the sort of meta strategy of the tournament, OpTic obviously literally just played, you know, 15, 20-minute break, whatever it was, but they have the hot hand, Toronto. They got to get the swing of things real quick and make sure those guns get hot. But as it stands, funneling up Envoy with the Grig. We called him Mr. Do-It-All last go around, and this time the entry with the AR, he's able to find 3.
Here we go. 4 now for Envoy. Oh my god. I was expecting number 5, but Dashy's going to be there to help out. Trades now abound. Scump's going to get brought down finally, and it looks like Insight last man standing for a moment. Nades up over the top. Dashy doesn't even get hurt. So for now, Ultra, a little bit of hard point time going their way. But what exciting opener. Both teams looking hot coming into this one. Ultra may have been waiting, Chance. But they are not waiting whatsoever. Now we've got them in game. 15 seconds left here. OpTic already have spawns for second.
Well, this is actually a spawn out that might help them depending on what ends up happening or what Dashy does with it. And well, he finds the first. So you're opening up this hill. Cam is completely by himself. He's taken care of. And now Toronto to open up this P2 are just spawning so far away. And again, I think rotations have been the biggest theme for OpTic Chicago, but today they have been perfect. The exact setup for P2 that they're going to want to get. And frankly, an opportunity to be those roaming slayers. Toronto, there are 0 openings on the maps for these guys to find. Insight tries to make a play. He gets caught. This is full 60 written all over it. 35 seconds left to go. And for Toronto, I mean, they're taking one more crack to try to find this break.
Full 60, we'll see. It's the final 30 now. Ticking away. Formal spots one. Tags into the second, but here comes the 3-man hit through Archway, and it's going to be a kill from Scump. Over to the point, Bans getting on top of it, and that's going to be the full 60 Dream dead. Wow, a 2-piece from Bans. Huge stuff from him. OpTic still on the point, final 15. Should go the way of Ultra, and that is an unfortunate set of spawns there for OpTic. Left-hand side of the map, they've got a long and difficult journey if they want to get towards third in time.
And that is such an impressive job by Toronto as well, because it's a delicate balance fighting for that scrap time and not losing spawns. But you see what they were able to do inside the anchor, and even everyone holding their spawns just long enough to spawn right on top of the hill. That being said, Envoy is here, and he has been a machine today in the respawns. The opening break obviously shows off a little bit why, but he's doing his job. Just keep Ultra out of the hill. If they get that rotation to the money hill, if they can't collect any time, even better. OpTic with a 20-point lead and playing this hill right now as well as you possibly could.
Kill from Insight there. The kills come through. Toronto with a decent amount of time here. Can they hold it? So far, bit of a climb they need to do now to get back into the lead. We'll find out if they can do it in the comms. Go for a quick Astro Gaming listen in with Toronto Ultra.
One shot in the right corner.
Who's that?
Nice, good shit.
Nice guy. Front. He's P1. He's cat set. Close cat.
One shot, ran away. He's ran back. One shot.
Go quick.
You get out. There's two. Hey, go fucking come back. Let's go.
One's in you, guys.
It's in you. Hit him with a nade. Hit him with a nade. Great. We're great.
He's gonna be probably top
Great box
green,
dropped.
top green, Scump, drop their side.
Mid tanks or something.
Invent.
Inside the green, boy. Chill. I can kill him off time.
Yeah, wait up.
Scump's P1.
Rails dead.
This is
Go up.
Scump P1,
Scump P1.
Top rails.
Yeah, Scump P1.
On top green. I'm
absolutely
P1. Still with the back burst. Nice. Let's go top green. Nice.
Can one of you get time? I'll get top.
Yeah, I have it.
Could already be event. Let's go P5.
I'm blocking deep.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You go first.
Time, Jamie, if you can.
Yeah, my gold cross.
Yeah, almost P5. He's P.
Top green and kill top green.
Nice.
Oh, my top green.
That's P5. Do it mid. What dash?
Top green Envoy. He's just hold P2. Hold P2. Try and help us.
One mid.
Get the
Thanks to me.
Top green.
Good trade.
Good shit. It's one next to you, Jamie.
I heard you. I'll look for
One might. Envoy will.
Scump's P gold. Scump's P5.
I gotta go
Scump's P5. Slit square or something.
Yeah, Envoy,
Nice well played.
Envoy, 2. Listen, Scump is the square and Envoy's in connector. Yeah,
one square. Last guy.
Well, Chance, not even the roar of the green wall can seem to disrupt Toronto Ultra's calm communication.
I mean, this is one of the biggest questions for me, right? They have just such like an almost peaceful conversation. The occasional moments of hype when they're getting the big plays, but I'm thinking that's the online environment. If a crowd is yelling, how can they handle it? Well, so far, so good. Have a 30-point lead in this game. The comms are crisp, and so is the gameplay advance, though. Can't quite find that kill, but even still on this hill, if you're trapping them in their spawn, Cammy, he's the cutoff babe. He takes down 2 with them. And right now for OpTic, you're down by 30 points, which isn't the worst, especially apparently if Envoy is shooting like that. The MVP on the day right now for Chicago. The kid's putting in work, and OpTic right now just trying to fight their way out of their spawn because Toronto, all of this pressure, they have constantly poured in the back, eating Kleenex, causing problems. And while he gets dealt with, a small stabilization for OpTic is now they're looking towards that first hill.
It's that team what we're talking about from Ultra. All concise attacks, Vance will be able to get at least one before being brought down by Formal there, so we go back over to a fresh hard point in first. Cammy winning the big green fight there. It's going to be all him. Dashy though back over to the point. Great awareness out of Big Bruce. Oh, so close. Insight will win that fight, and there you go, an open hard point. And Toronto Ultra furiously fighting their way across map. Bance with the incredible footwork. That's going to be 2 kills and 30 seconds of hard point time, arguably theirs.
And look at how early the rotations are, by the way. Cammy was out here with like 35 seconds off the clock, and now he's got 2 other teammates to help him. This is Bance by himself collecting the time. He might fall, but Toronto, this was the investment they made to try to wrap, but Scump, Formal, and Envoy find all of the kills. All of a sudden, it's the anchor, the saving grace, the rookie that can't do it all. He gets taken care of in the rotation from OpTic again to P2 is perfect. And a time like this, when they're down 35, that is exactly what they needed.
How long can they hold it, though? Because, again, Ultra, a very good team at hitting those hard point breaks. Formal Envoy find their respective kills, playing this one quite deep from the defense. PaulEhx forward he goes, blinded for a brief moment, and here comes the slides. Cammy, though, to help out. Oh, the snap was on, but the kill not good enough. Over now to Scump, last player alive in the point. It's been good time so far, but not enough of it, frankly, for the OpTic fans, and there you go. Insight. Getting himself onto the point now, picking up some time, 30 seconds here. OpTic have spawns for hardpoint number 4. Sorry, 3 on the lower right-hand side of the map. But again, I don't think you want to give up this next 25 chance.
I mean, even if you want to fight for the time, keep in mind someone needs to sit there and be the anchor. So maybe a sort of hero play, but even still at this point, you do need to rotate back as Envoy starting to spawn out. But OpTic again, making sure they're on point with those rotations. 3 players have retreated towards this hill, and as long as no one dies the next second, they should be fine. Envoy, it'll be close on whether or not he can hold his spawn. He's going to try to spawn in with the team, and he does get it in the nick of time. So 4 players for OpTic on the defensive stand.
Here comes the perfect setup. How many kills will Ultra be able to get? The answer so far, nothing. Scump and Dashy get their kills. Beautiful hold. Scump still taking care of these players on the front line. And again, here comes a 2-man hit. Man's going to lead this one. Oh, and Envoy gets both of them. Unbelievable. Cleanix is here now to finally take care of him. But that has been a wonderful hold from OpTic. Plenty of time going their way, and they still have the setup.
Couple players maybe trying to go through tools, a couple opportunities, a bunch of tags, and the trades are in. Fighting against Toronto, it is like fighting a war of attrition. They are non-stop, but the trades always on point, and that final nade might be good enough to get the final bit of hill time. Even still, Toronto stripping away an extra second, but now they're setting up for the trap. You got someone to watch you. A couple players, that's going to be Bance in caution, and Cammy, well, he can roam around. Not easy to get a ton of time on this next hill, but Toronto, they at least have the setup. The trades are there for the initial set of gunfights, but Envoy, it is always him. He finds the opening, and for Cleanix, he's the one now starting to spawn out as OpTic. It takes them 3 seconds to get the break on the hill.
You get the break, they've got the lead, but Ultra are now knocking at the door. Dashy, straight to the point. A lot of angles to cover here. Here comes Cleanix. He will find the kills there, and Scump, the immediate bounce back. Trades on point. Again, that's testament to the communication right now and the teamwork for both teams. If you're damaged, there's a good chance you're going to be drop dead. Very few players will be hitting the regen in a map like this. 70 points though. 170 points now for OpTic, 165 for Ultra. They should be able to take the lead back here, but this should be an aggressive play. Again, the next hard point is still center of the map. That's where you want to see OpTic holding now. They do have control. Kills keep on flowing though, as Ultra second in the lead for now. Should see that change in a brief moment.
And this is a matchup, in spite of the fact that Toronto has had the edge the entire year. When it comes to the respawns, guys like Insight and Cammy have struggled. So far, not the case though. That is why this game is so tight. Cammy, he's been putting in work, and Insight not too far behind. The finesse from Benjamin Bance to stay alive. Trying to keep control of that light side and maybe try to make the snap and jump inside the hill just to get OpTic out of it. They are setting up for the push. But for OpTic, a very tight setup. All 4 bodies right around this point. And this is a good chunk of time that they're able to get on this 5th and final hill. Still accruing it, and now for Toronto, starting to spawn out. OpTic still in the hill, and this is where things get dire. That's why Insight has pumped the brakes. He's making sure everyone doesn't want to get spawn trapped, but OpTic right now turning up and starting to run the show.
OpTic have already done an incredible job compared to the first time they met in the winner's bracket. It was 1-3-4, the final score that OpTic got there. Now, you're going to find the win. Get themselves another hard point here, but Ultra now battling from the outside. Scump and Formal in the kill feed. The last 2 players up, Bance and Insight, looking to make their way closer. Cameras are being held right now for the Ultra players, looking to spawn as close as they possibly can. Insight can't get in on the point. Bance is trying to play this one sneaky chance, but OpTic, they've got themselves the point, and they can win it here.
In Toronto right now, they're trying to set up that timing to make a break, and there's a couple players trying to crawl their way through mid. Maybe a contest to stop the clock, but the mid is where the fights are going, and this is where Envoy's patrolling, can't finish the gunfight. Ban's able to take him down, and even the ARs for Toronto staying up and alive. Still, Mixie is Formal able to take down at least one, but two things have just happened. Yes, Toronto gets the break, but they lose the spawns for new. And you can already see Envoy, as good as OpTic have been on rotating to P2, this is what he's looking to do. Keep that green control. Don't let anyone from the Ultra slip through. You will take the contest. You will happily give away this scrap time. One solid rotation. It is a money hill of all money hills, and OpTic just need 24 seconds to close it out, but a couple of these kills coming through for Scump and Envoy. The pressure is now on the SMGs.
They have to hold this. Ultra now battling forward. Here comes the play. Through they slide. Cammy drops. Trades are on point. It's going to be Insight who stays up. Bance takes care of the back line, and with that, you stay safe for Ultra. It was a clean break, and now the time is theirs.
Fire connecting. Couple nades coming through. OpTic trying to work their way around back, but Cammy is here and Cammy is ready. Scump the next one on the chopping block. He falls. Toronto inside the point. They can't win it here, but they can get close. OpTic on the flood. They're going for a break of their own. Formal trying to come out of green. He's able to catch Bance, and he found two along the way. 20 seconds. OpTic can win it here. Toronto, you're going to have to fly. You just need to contest for just a few seconds, and as well, set up yourselves on the rotation.
And they get the contest. They've got no streaks to clear the skies. Here comes the play. Onto the point you go. You still have OpTic there. There's the kills. There's a bit of a contest. It's still 5 seconds for the win. Cammy picks up the kills. And look at number one. Bance has made his way across map. This is not over yet. Ultra spawning in the preferred positions. They've got that low right-hand side covered. To the generator as we go. How many can Cleanix bring down before they get there? The nades are good. The damage will be there. It's on Bance now. Slaying these players out. The contest will not be there just yet, as OpTic can't get much closer. Formal playing it slow and steady. He needs a kill here. He needs to make his way forward, but Bance off the top rope. And like that, we're going to see the lead change hands. Insight on the inside. 5 seconds down for the win. Ultra on the comeback. They're going to get this one done here. There's no one on OpTic in sight. They can't get it done. That one goes to Ultra.
The silencer towards the end. The comeback from the Kings. They pull it off, and Cammy going crazy in the back to make that happen. You go into a situation where OpTic win the rotation towards the money hill, but it's the ARs for OpTic that fall. The SMG is left on the point. You go into a situation where it is 24 seconds you need on a P2, but Toronto, they break it every single time. That was perfection. 3 goes around on that second hill. Toronto, they never win that rotation battle towards the actual point. Every single time they're able to break, and it's not just the fact that they're breaking those hills, it's the fact that they're rotating while they're doing it. Literally fighting the 2-front war and pulling it off to perfection. It is moments like that is the exact reason why Toronto Ultra have been so good this entire year.
Let's take a quick look at a replay of the final moments of that hard point. Again, a staggering comeback, but both teams playing exceptionally well. The final moments here, though, chance to break is down here. It's 5 seconds for the win for OpTic. It seems so easy. It seems like they were right there on the finish line. What happened?
I mean, they basically just walked through, and they effectively did that 3v4 as well. I mean, the most difficult thing about breaking this hill is trying to get through top green, but it looked like for Ultra, that's where about 2 players were able to come from. It is the coordination on when you're taking those flanks, when you're trying to make the flood. And again, if there is any team that knows their timings the best, Ultra at the very top of the list. And this was just another example. They are getting those breaks on P2, and they are still managing to rotate at the same time. It is incredibly difficult to juggle that balance, but Toronto did it the entire game.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. An elated start here for Toronto Ultra and their fans across the planet. Now, though, we will take a very quick commercial break. When we get back, Moscow, Search and Destroy, Game 2, here in Elimination Finals.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Unlock a CDL team pack with any purchase on gamefuel.com/CDL while supplies last. Offer ends on August 31st. Tournament audio and team listen-ins are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Call of Duty League. The Elimination Finals now underway. We're one map down, and Toronto Ultra with a spectacular comeback on Garrison to start us off. Now, though, it is Moscow Search and Destroy. It's going to be a spicy affair indeed, and May, let's talk a little bit about the Search and Destroy so far here in Major 5 Chance.
I mean, look, KDs aren't everything, but when they're that good, that tells the entire story. Ultra, they have been on point through and through, just like completely ridiculous KDs. Their S&D has been their backbone. Like, keep in mind for Ultra, they have been losing almost every single respawn. They were like 2-6 in the respawns coming into this. They get the game #1 out of the way. How much more comfortable these players have to be. They're searching to destroy the polar opposite, 4-1. Their only loss has been to the Minnesota Røkkr. And that is a team that certainly has it, whatever it is, in this major. But outside of that, Ultra near perfect. You go into Moscow, which again, a good map for both teams certainly can be said, but thinking about the team that has the edge in Search and Destroy, they are just the rotation machines, always on point with their teamwork stance, always on point with his play calls. This is going to be a very tough one for OpTic to try to bounce back from. Right now, Ultra, they have just been wheeling and dealing their bread and butter game mode.
Bread and butter indeed, and they've been feasting. The last time these two teams met in Search and Destroy, and the winners, both Miami and Express, Ultra won both maps 6-2. Dominance in the game mode aside, that first hard point was a real indicator of how solid both teams are. I mean, that was not a good map for OpTic. This is a closely contested series, really outside of the Search. So we'll see what OpTic can bring here, Chance, because this one is a must-win, has to be said. Here we go, though. Map #2. OpTic versus Ultra. Let's get it.
And OpTic certainly ordinarily lean towards that B site, and as you'd expect, right, inside watching mid, it is that rotation battle. Ultra may have stacked up A on defense, but the question is, how long will they wait? Inside, a bit of pressure on. It is risky, potentially getting caught from players mid-map. He takes the safe route, and now he's got the intel. One player spotted towards the middle of the map, and he can feel that pressure. He is the lone man towards B, but OpTic, they're making the call. They're rotating to A, but straight into the trap of the Ultra. They were waiting for this.
Oh, is it a trap? I don't know. It feels like a little bit the other way right now as the kills keep coming. PaulEhx, the tactical retreat, but hello, Formal springs to life. Dashy finds another one. It's a 2v1. And no, my word, what a kill from Insight. 5 HP. Scump, he's scrambling to find the kill, but Insight has stayed alive. And oh my God, Insight, what a win. Ultra take round 1v3s.
Bro, 1v3s and OpTic. Name a better duo. There's the first, there's the second. Insight in Search and Destroy on the year has an argument to be the best in the game. Certainly a couple players in that conversation, but he delivered. He has OpTic's number in this game mode in just a suffocating way to kick things off. The rookie, no fear in his heart with that clutch in Ultra. I mean, again, you talk about their S&D prowess. Even when things aren't going right, they got the bailout in the back pocket.
Nice awkward gunfight to start round 2 here as Dashy not equipped for this, but that's not his job at this point in time. It's not to fight, it's more to get eyes on. Expecting the hit towards B there with the 74U out, so Ultra mid-map presence chance. Lance with that bomb, calling the shots right now, weighing up their options, making a calculated guess or attempt at either one of these bomb sites, and it looks like we're going to be.
Well, you know, you can't even trust it just because it looks like that on the minimap. Even with this information, you can never be sure until it happens, but now they're inside. You'd think the full commitment will be here for OpTic for the moment. It is only 2 players defending B, and I think you just saw number 4 cross. He might be crossing in front of number 5 Scump, maybe to bait the information. I don't know if he got spotted or not, but that's the idea. And there you go, Scump, he's starting to rotate. Dashy, he's starting to rotate. I think CleanX might have just pulled the perfect bait, but Dashy, the only player for OpTic that can read it, he is here, and well, the whole team for Ultra is too. They get the bomb down. 4 players around.
It was a ruse. Dashy still nades in hand. Insight, 4 in a row. Dashy wins the fight on sight. Envoy now trying to keep this one together. 2v2. 30 seconds on the bomb. Anson Insight to defend it. It's a classic spot by the bus. Envoy walks right into this one. Dashy, last player for life, wins one. Oh, Dashy! Cleans them both up and gets to defuse. Bruce Almighty strikes in round 2.
Oh, the hand of God coming through and the trigger finger so quick with it. Insight the big plays in the first round. Dashy, the response for the second. Here it is. Shreds for the first, and that is pure reaction time for the second, the snapper, and the hero. Dashy putting in work, and this is a man that needs to go to work and search and destroy again. What a way to bounce back. 2 for 2 on the defensive rounds and a 3 spree for Dashy. See if they can turn things around and keep that going on this attack round.
A big turnaround there. Ultra have got this set up. They want the bombs in the cheeky position. They like it. They have eyes on it. Doesn't matter. Big Bruce finds 3. What a round. Insight back over to street side. Dashy will be joining him. This on the other side, though. Slow and steady, though, in this rounders. After the excitement of that round, I think for Ultra, you just want to slow the pace down, let everyone's heart rates get back to normal. And let Dashy cool off a little bit before you start getting into those gunfights. There it is.
Oh, what a win.
Insight's going for the kill, though. Immediately looking to put him down. Dashy, the re-challenge. He's feeling confident. Insight, though, great awareness, but there's the teamwork once again from OpTic. Patience pays off. As Envoy finds a kill as well. Can CleanX do much? Oh, no, he cannot. Another good round out of OpTic.
And that is just so clean. Insight is not the player that you just want to 1-for-1 square up with. Got to find a way for the bait. Well, there's the first, and you saw what Scump was doing, right? Just poking his head out the window, get a couple pop shots, and all of that. Just to set Dashy up. And again, if there's any player you want to set up in this team for search and destroy, he is at the top of the list, especially when he's playing for streaks. Dashy on a 5, 6-1 for the bounce back rounds. And frankly, outside of that 1v3, or I suppose the first 2 rounds were close, but OpTic, they have been on point. Even with the finesse calls that Toronto have been making on offense, I think I like the idea from Dashy, just never leave this site.
Yep.
Until a bomb gets planted at A, someone always needs to be over towards B.
Well, that's what the B stands for, Chance. It's Bruce, right?
There you go. It is his.
It is all his. We're going back, though. Once again with that bomb. He's creeping. Insight with the long streak coverage. Formal, though, backing him up this time from top PD, Chance. So I think we've got a little more defense towards B this time. We're not going to leave all of it on Dashy this round.
And I just see a bunch of noise potentially being made in Eskies. Toronto Ultra, again, the number of different things they do just that are incredibly difficult to play off of.
Uh-oh.
Well, they've taken the bomb with them. The trap is here, and Envoy's here for the kills. The trades are through. And it looks like Scump got back down. And this bomb, I was going to say, Ultra, this is the game they love to play. Make all that noise at A, bait over 1 player. The good news is Bruce, he stayed here the entire time. He's got the 1v1 against Insight. He wins it. That is why you stick around. And even Scump doing the same thing, sticking at his bomb site. He's feeling the pressure. He's got 2 players in front. He's ready for it, but he gets dropped. 2v2, this bomb is getting planted.
Bomb's getting planted. Here comes Dashy, though. CleanX is going to try to hold him back. 2v2 retake. Almost in a bit of trouble, but here comes Dashy on the flank. Oh my word, the timing could be great here. The 74U keeps on cracking, baby. Here comes CleanX. Dashy! Dashy! 1 round! 8 in a row! Full streaks! OpTic, this is a massive swing round for them.
What more could you possibly want and expect from Bruce in these moments? Making the big plays time and time again. 9 kills he has. in 4 rounds.
What?
Fully streaked out. I mean, you get 1v3'd. Is there a lack of resilience? Is there a lack of resilience after the hard point? A heartbreaking 5-point loss? Well, resilient as ever. The bounce back is strong. In 8 spree for the Dark Knight. As that sun is setting, and well, when the sun goes down, you can call in those streaks. He's got everything he wants, and now you can mix things up. You can have so many different strats once you start calling in the crews and artillery. And if I'm Cammy, this is not the man right now that you're wanting to challenge. Do your best just to stay alive.
Everyone thought the scariest thing of the night were the Tiny Terrors. You forgot all about the Cape Crusader. Is 0-4. They are calling out Bance there for his donut so far, but the word could change here. There's OpTic. Bance. Oh no! No! That stings. Cleanex is going to do what he can to solve this one. Dashy's made his way forward. A-bomb site's covered. And here comes the moves. Ultra trying to find something here. Scump though cuts down Cammy. 2v3. Inside, through mid. Oh, it's not a 2-piece, it's only the single. It's now Cleanex. There is 25 seconds remaining. He has to defend that bomb site. Can he do it alone? He can't, because Dashy, once again, too strong. 4-1 OpTic.
Yo, and with the Diamondcon, he just won that gunfight, but that is the moment where the round gets won for OpTic. Bance, I mean, that is a moment where if he gets that kill on Formal, he's got 3 players to shoot in the back, and that round, it might collapse. And I mean, just look at this. I mean, SMD again, Ultra have ran the show, but now it's here. Bance and Cammy combined for 1-10. Dashy the opposite, 10-1. Still holding on to those score streaks, and I would say maybe this bomb going towards A, that bomb is just going into where there's indoors. 3 players surging through white. Envoy, he's going to be making the call out, call in something, call in one of the streaks, or unfortunately he dies too fast and it looks like the streaks aren't getting used. Ultra right now just bullying their way to A.
Here comes the 3-man hit through white though. They're going to make the play here. 40 seconds. Scump leads the charge for Cammy. On the flank. 1, 2, easy reads for Cammy! What a round! Oh my word, perfect timing. Cammy seals the deal.
In a big fashion, you go from the donut cam to getting a 3-piece like that. That might be an opener for him to try to get back into this game. And from OpTic right there, not entirely sure what the idea was, but no streaks used. You get dominated on the round, completely picked apart. Ultra, small signs of life that they have, but obviously being down 4-2, you still need to deal with the artillery. You still need to deal with that cruise missile. But aggression may be their friend. Cammy again aggressive towards the middle of the map. And he's doing with the sub. This is homework that Ultra have done. I mean, they have stuck around this A side on defense a few times. This is Cammy expecting some close pressure from the SMGs to be coming through, but OpTic, they won't be towards the middle of the map. They'll be calling in the crews.
But you'll see a few players here, maybe. You'll know that they're in mid. Here comes the curve. Straight into white, you won't find much. It does give you enough clearance, whether it's the smoke now, as it clears. Envoy will have the A-bomb site, but there's the flank once again, and it's Cammy. None other. Cameron McGilligan once again on the flank. Will he catch one? There it is. Quick change. Dashy, though, here to get it. 11-2. So has the artillery to play with. Insight with big tags in a Scump. This is still a 3v2. OpTic with the numbers, but not for long. Here comes the push. Scump keeps it alive, though. 1v2. Dashy and Scump versus Cleanex. What can Cleanex do, Charles?
Oh, and Dashy, he just had to stay alive. He just had to stay alive, but now it's going to leave Scump in the 1 versus 1. Cleanex looking every direction, checking all the corners, but he can't win the gunfight. The King takes him down. 5-2 lead right now for OpTic Chicago in a moment where it almost slipped. The idea is keep the guy with the streaks alive in the back, and Cleanex, nearly the hero for the team, trying to walk his way to the promised land, but Scump come up clutch. 5-2 lead now for OpTic. They still have the artillery.
Scump certainly has the ice today. Not the first time we've seen him win a big 1v1 here in these crucial search rounds. Map point, OpTic Chicago. New look now on the offense now for Toronto Ultra, slowly but surely. Maybe this time a little bit more pep in their step, trying to be more decisive, but watch out, it's Formal. Not able to get the kill. Bance wins a big one. But Dashy once again continues to play his absolute heart out. The guardian of the green wall still stands atop those bricks, and he's looking for a few more here, but the bomb's going down. Dashy though, Dashy straight onto the side. Oh my word, he almost found the second, but PaulEhx recovers the bomb. 2v2 now.
And you have Cammy, who he has been playing with a couple of these players. He's going to be the guy looking to catch these guys on rotation. Well, there's the catch. He sees both. The nade should be good to kill Envoy. He takes care of business. And Scump, well, you are one shot stuck behind a pillar. The nades are there.
Oh, wow.
And Cammy, the Terminator, making sure that nothing gets away for him. Do or die moment. In Toronto, a team that has no die, no quit in them. In such big plays. And I mean, again, it can only be said so many times. This is in spite of the fact that Dashy is having a phenomenal performance. He has been doing his Sunday best to run that B site. Well, 13-4. You can't take anything away from him. And keep in mind, he's still, I will say it every time, still has that artillery.
Plenty of time still to play with that one again for OpTic. It's a lifeline that they still have to work with. Oh, wow, but there you go.
Beams.
Edinburgh's very own John Wick finding the shots again. Cammy's having a wonderful resurgence here in the Search and Destroy to keep Ultra's hopes alive. This Bance being extremely aggressive. Oh my, and it pays off. The hit and run from Bance gets his second kill of the game, and a great one at that.
And keep in mind, Dashy, one of the first players taken out, right? No streaks. This is a 2v4. Pressure's on. Ultra still need to make sure they take care of business. Don't let any mistakes happen. Let nothing slip through and inside. He's the guy checking the full wrap, watching over mid. Ultra patient, waiting for this bomb potentially to come back towards this A site. Well, Formal makes a bit of noise, but inside his job is not take gunfights. There you go. He didn't spot two. Oh. He didn't spot Scump, so Scump at least finds one. Now with 2 versus 3, Cammy is here though. Cammy's here on Outer Street. Formal trying to take him down and can't quite do it. 20 seconds on the clock. Scump getting the bomb down.
Burrito, Formal finds one. Scump now to Laundry. Shots are in. He's a little hurt, but it's going to be fine for now. Less than 10 seconds on it. You have to make the play. Formal's here. Trying to provide that close range coverage. Bance to the flank. Here he goes. 1v2 on top of the bomb we go. PaulEhx on the defuse. Here comes the defense, and Bance is there. The defenders, they will get it. The bomb will be defused. And Ultra are 1 round away from equalizing.
And Benjamin Bance getting out of all of these engagements. 1 HP by the hair of his chinny chin chin. And look at the plays, man. He goes down to 18 HP. And PaulEhx, he stuck the bomb through this entire thing. You don't win this gunfight, you might lose the game, but he comes up clutch, not just for that one, but even the pick on Envoy. This is a 5-2 comeback in Search and Destroy Ultra are working on. Keep in mind, Dashy still has that artillery. He does not have the ping for it. But Ultra, they know the game. They've been here before, and still, I can't imagine the amount of pressure Dashy has had in these situations, constantly the lone man, dealing with so many of the players on Ultra, and finally, he's just wrapping out. And honestly, if you force yourself, if he's backing down this far with a sub to call in the artillery, everyone should be safe. I don't even know where you put the pings.
I mean, you have to wait for your boys to get in a position to pick up on the players who are flushed by it. So here we go. OpTic should be forcing their way inside to B now. Ultra are going to have to move. They're all stacked up. Every single member of Ultra is in the front window. They're all in there now. Now they'll disperse. 25 on the clock. OpTic on the retake. This is for the map. Scump, back onto the bomb site he goes. Envoy's on the defuse. Is anyone looking at it? Is anyone looking at it? Formal's got first blood. You sneaky buggers! You sneaky devils! The kills come through, and the whole time they were on the bomb. OpTic, what a clinical move. What a brave, bold play, and it pays off. We are all tied up 1-1.
They give up the bomb site that is indoors to use the artillery, but it was about the control. It is about forcing them in spots where you know where to look, and we have seen that play call. If it's down on B, hop it as soon as you can, and then just get the clearance. It is 3 doorways to watch. OpTic had all of them covered. What a phenomenal bounce back in the search and destroy off the back of Dashy, man. Look at him go, and Scump not too far behind. You got Dashy dropping 14, but even just the straight up output in the clutch against CleanX that Scump is winning. Those two going at it for the bounce back, flipping this series on its head.
Superstar moments indeed there from OpTic, and incredible resolve. Melons, massive melons, tremendous plums.
All of them.
All the melons to really make that play in the end. And a clean 4 down, unbelievable. US Army tactical play though, goes to Dashy, round 2. Whether it was any of his exceptional kills, big brain plays, Bruce had it all here on Moscow.
I mean, literally just the pep in his step. This is 1 round after Insight clutches a 1v3. Envoy, nice job to make it a 2v2, but this is just pure gun skill, pure reaction time coming out of Dashy to win these gunfights. And even with the little cheeky spots, right? He's there for the trades on Insight, and just this snap with the sub and the movement as well. That is the start of the run that Dashy goes on. This turned into score streaks. How clutch he was.
Social soundboard powered by Astro, and you bet we're all singing the same praise right now. Cairo saying, I love watching compared to Call of Duty. The major today has been amazing to watch. You're not wrong. Charlie's there saying, holy Dashy. And of course, Emrex from Barstool saying, Bruce. And there we go. The search and destroy is done. A lot of fun had there. We're all tied up 1-1. Now, a quick commercial break. Time for us all to gather our thoughts and get ready for that control. It's on Raid. It's up next.
Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armour your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming. Scump, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
We are back, friends. Welcome back. And don't forget, if you're a fan of the Call of Duty League, there's a CDL Major 5 giveaway right now. So enter to win your choice of a CDL 2021 controller. It starts on Thursday, and the winners are picked on Monday, August the 2nd. So to enter, retweet and follow at Scump Gaming and at COD League on Twitter, tag a friend, and reply with hashtag ScumpXCDL. I'm telling you, boys and girls, I got myself one of those, and it is true. It is a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. Of course, I've got the league colors, because, you know, I can't have any crazy affiliations to teams, but that official Call of Duty League controller, oh, it's a thing of beauty. Whew. As we get into this one, we're ready to go to Raid Control. Miles and Chance here to get you through this one, and so far, one hell of a series it has been. But Chance, for Toronto, control is pretty solid. This is them so far in the season. On the left-hand side, the column on the right is this major alone. What do you make of the numbers?
Well, I think the biggest thing in the major, I mean, they came into it basically perfect in control, and well, they have struggled so far. Again, their respawns haven't been quite as good. Maybe game one is the indication of the potential bounce back, but Bant's really the player where you can just see the sort of suffering the team has had in that control. Again, they were perfect, and they started losing those controls, so even now technically, OpTic had the edge clear across the board, but again, we're saying quote in edge because what? A 5-point game we had in the first hard point. A ridiculous game number 2 with a near comeback against full streaks that the Ultra were trying to pull off. If it has been any indication, this control, I mean, it's going to come down to the wire. Into raid we go. A map, again, both teams, as we expect from the very best in the game, they love to play on.
They love it. 3-2 to OpTic the first time round. What will it be this time? Because everything has changed here in this matchup. Man, what a good search. I mean, the search and destroy this event alone has been a sight to behold, but control games, I mean, if you saw the first series, OpTic taking down Dallas, that's 0.0 on the clock, millisecond to spare there. Always something that happens, something wild and crazy here in the COD League. You can never quite count a team out ever, and you should not. Especially teams of this caliber right now. OpTic peaking at the right time in the season. Ultra still a formidable opponent. Man alive, what a series this is. Raid control now. At number 3 is to take the lead in this series. You can see the records, they're very, very even. As far as we're concerned, it's anyone's game. This is sure to be a good one.
And you go through hundreds of repetitions on every map throughout the year. In practice, you are scrimming 5 days a week, sometimes more, leading up to tournament time. You are going through the grind. And you do all of that work, all of that preparation for these moments on your championship Sunday against teams that are threats. Ready for the battle and laying down in Tiki. Sometimes it feels like that works pretty well against OpTic, but the opening up, OpTic have actually sort of spread the map. A lot of attention over towards B, but you see the idea. They actually have bodies on A, but you have Ultra always prepared, always clinical. They have kills everywhere on the map.
Kills all over the place. Envoy looking to make things a little bit more awkward. He will. But it was B we go. Again, OpTic, for those of you following at home, are trying to capture both A and B zones or kill 30 members of the Toronto Ultra team. They've got 30 lives to work with. Back over towards A we go, though. First segment's done. Trying to find a few more here. Great stuff from OpTic here on the opener chance. If they capture this point, it's an extra minute on the clock.
Dashy though, he's looking for the challenge. And you actually have Ultra, I was going to say, they might swarm this on defense. They get a couple kills, they're happy to defend, and they were set up for it. So instead, time is still ticking. I mean, you got what, a couple players thinking about going towards B, OpTic spreading the map, but I don't know if this is the time. You got to clear out your base, and even Bant's causing problems. He's dealing with 2 players, and he plays them both. Scump though, at least wins the gunfight. And well, there you go, you get Dashy back over towards A. But he's not quite there yet, and again, Cam, he's thinking about it. Maybe just looking for the kill. He finds it, but point secured. You might be still stuck in your spawn, but hey, you got a minute and a half to work with. There's not too much craziness, as now it is the entire front. Backfold faithful. You got to clear out bedroom and go for a full flanks. Plenty of time to work with on offense, but obviously not easy to get out of the setup.
It's not easy, but shots like that certainly help. It comes down to these tough 1v1 fights. Scump looking to clear out the mid-map. Sneaky Cammy on the ledge here, and Dashy, if he checks it, he's good. Cammy though, oh my god, he's been gifted. 2 more, can't quite get the 3rd. Brilliant defense from Ultra here in the first round. There's a minute now to play with. Just have to hold on, they will get the first. But Ultra, and Insight in particular now, he's in a lot of hot water, but it's all good. He's brewing, and it's only more delicious. Oh, Kleenex, what a 3! Stays alive, 45 on the clock.
Oh, just look at the teamwork, man. They got the coordination. They got everything covered. You win one side of gunfights over towards bedroom. Insight waiting on the other side of the map. And then, I mean, Kleenex out of nowhere. OpTic again, you don't even have information. The last time you've seen Insight, God knows where he could go. He's playing just outside of Zig, but number 8, number 6, they are taking their time just to try to figure out where he's going to be. And time is ticking. 20 seconds on the clock. OpTic, they can't get anywhere near out of their spawn. With the exception of Formal, everyone's been getting caught. He's trying to make the hero play. He's on the point. He wins the gunfight. The only opportunity for OpTic to win this round is on the back of Formal.
Oh, who's going to try and get it done? Scump continues to fight his way through mid. That's 4 in a row now. He's too hurt, though, to take any more fights from this situation. 7.6 on the clock. Insight versus Formal. Oh, my word. Scump drops on the mid-map. Here comes the push. Ultra. And a player goes down. They get the opening round.
And just a very quick, clean, and easy round on defense. Again, even the play they made towards A earlier on, just to really stagger that pace from OpTic, and of course, the best play, that helps as well. You get 3-pieced on bedroom, spawn up, and have to let CleanX do that to you. Again, putting in some work is Ultra. Defending both sites as well as they possibly could in a fairly clean round. Will now be their turn to attack. Triple stack from both teams over towards A, and Cammy and Envoy with a little bit of a battle over towards B, but the opening breaks always make a difference. Scump aggressive, looking for these kills.
I mean, everyone's very aggressive. A is a dangerous place to be. Actually, the last player left up there is CleanX makes his way through mid now, not without taking a bit of damage. This should slow them. Only briefly, though, as Ultra still keeping up the pressure towards A. They're not giving up on it. They're not going over to B as a lot of other teams expect. That's a learned move. And OpTic still are keeping one eye on it. Though, he and Envoy finding those kills, chance. If Dashy can take care of Insight, no need. Formal's there. It's a beautiful defense. Now over to B we go. It's a hard read from OpTic, and a great one at that. Envoy on 4.
He couldn't quite get out, but you saw the idea. Just swinging towards the map, and even where Envoy falls, someone's there to pick up the hole in the map, and that's going to be Formal. Waiting for the cross, but Cammy patient as ever, trying to find the kills. It's the dance around mid, and finally, they clear him out. Bands working together. You've made it past that 50-yard line, but still 0 ticks of progression really on either side. Toronto, I think they know the deal. Just make sure you get bodies on A. Try to buy yourself that extra time, but OpTic, they're looking to defend.
Oh, it's a nice nade, though, keeping those players back. 20 seconds. Clock stopped. CleanX on a 4 spree. Rips the head clean off of Formal. Dashy there for the revenge, though Bance stays on point. First segment gone. 4 players now for Ultra. They're committing now heavily towards A. Bance is doing everything within his power. Scump, if he can get these players off it, that's great. But Formal has to do a little bit more. Here comes CleanX on the back. Envoy, though, wait. This could be it. There's the contest. It's not over yet. 20 seconds on the clock. Oh, an Envoy can't get the kill, nor can Scump. That should see A captured. An Ultra, a minute to play with. 14 lives in the bag as well.
And it's CleanX because, of course, it is. This man has been a machine through the 5th major that we have, and he's leading the charge. He's on a 3 spree cutting up through L, but Scump is there for the read, and, well, that is the SMGs putting in the work. Bedroom clearance is there, though, so you still get bodies close towards this point. And Cammy shreds. Headshots coming into effect as well for a little bit of the gunfights, but he gets traded. This is when the ARs need to be on point. Vance is going to deliver. But still, not quite the tried and true opening, and Scump finds the timing as well. 4 life advantage, still for OpTic, holding strong on defense.
Insight is such a good off angle here. If Scump challenges this, I mean, he's playing it so patiently. What a vet. 35 seconds to work with. OpTic don't have to make any mistakes. Oh, Insight patience pays off, though. Less than 30 now to play with. Ultra have got to go. Envoy on the flank now, looking to damage Cammy, but I think Cammy's making the read here. Oh, he maybe not. And Envoy is snipped in. That's bedroom control. This is huge for OpTic. Got to get the first kill. Envoy in a premium position here. With less than 15 now to play with chance, this should be OpTic's round.
Oh, and he's going hunting as well. He's thinking about just chomping for the gunfights, but as long as he's alive, there is nothing you can do. And, well, he might fall into an AR setup that do get chopped, but simply no room on the map. OpTic Chicago, a dominant round on defense. Even just, again, both of these teams are happy to commit a couple extra lives just to defend over towards A. And it's really been both times around where, because of the strong defensive starts that they have had, you get that life advantage. You just take your time and whittle them down on lives. Back and forth game, to the surprise of no one at this point. OpTic now, their turn to attack again, and I think at this point we've learned to expect at some point A is going to get captured. Will they ever be able to find a way to get into spawn, get into basketball, start spawning these players out, get some clearance at B? But obviously that's going to be part 2.
Yeah. 10-step plan, I think we said it was, on Thursday chance. CleanX and Insight just set OpTic back a few steps. Nice opening. There's the rebuttal as we get towards A. First segment gone. Vance is going to do decent work here, but no coverage there. The trophy's going to make that a lot harder for him to get involved, and that's going to be 2 segments at A gone now. The last one's about gone. He's done a beautiful job here. There you go. A's out. 2:15 on the clock to work with. A lot of lives. OpTic in a good spot.
And Envoy, honestly, he might have found the opening as well because he got enough kills maybe to buy Formal some pressure over towards the outer, but not easy gunfights to win, and Cammy's there for it. So this is back to the center. This is part 2. You've done the hard thing. You've bought yourselves 2 minutes on the clock to work towards B, but unfortunately, it is now the main AR running at you with an SMG. He does get traded, but even Cammy, the next AR, ready to go for the gunfights. It is just the scattered approach, Ultra pouring on this pressure on defense. They have lived around bedroom.
Oh, what a kill from Scump. I was going to say, watch for Cammy in that position. We've seen him play those ledges before. He repositions after almost every single kill. Makes it very hard to take him on. And even when you get through him, there's insight. Scump, though, wins a big one. 1:25 on the clock. Life count still in favor of OpTic at 20-18. Now a different look as we go through Kitchen, now hoping to find something. The shadow of Cleanix was spotted there, so here comes the battle. Dashy and Scump versus Cleanix. All Cleanix has got is a couple of stacks of cash, and oh my word, it was almost all he needed.
All the kills, dude. Insight. I mean, that's just 3 in a row for him, and he keeps doing with the 74U. I mean, you talk about a team wanting to pour on the pressure. The SMG is just flying, and it takes them 0 seconds to go back and get that bedroom control. I mean, just ever present again. It is like fighting against the tide. Even if it goes out for a moment, Toronto just right back in your face. Pouring this pressure on, but OpTic, they know the commitment. They're sending almost everybody here, trying to clear out bedroom. The patience from Vance, waiting for the gunfights, but as soon as he makes the overcommitment, he gets taken down. 26 less on the clock. OpTic starting to move forward.
I'll go forward. Envoy quite literally flies forward. The G slide in the stairs, but it's 3 members of Ultra here. They're all on the stairs. Can anyone find a kill? Scump's going to fly forward and just let it rip. Dashy's there to back him up. Nades are there on point. Envoy trying to battle his way through mid. This is an opportunity. You've got time to make it to the point as the kills start going the way of OpTic. And Envoy can't find any more. They've got to go though. 5 seconds. Get onto the point if you can. Diamondcon at range there as the kills come through. Cammy from Money Window. 4.2 on the clock. Formal's got to hold this one. He's all alone right now. Eyes on multiple angles to cover it. There's one. No, the clock will open up again, but Envoy now here in a position to keep it alive. He finds 2 more, and just like that, OpTic out of lives. Scump now takes care of the last member of Ultra. They're out of lives now. There's 2.8 on the clock, and there are now 2 members of OpTic capturing B chance.
2v3, it is a 2v3, and they are on the point. It is going slowly. It is going to be about another 12 seconds. Envoy gets caught. There's less than 1 second on the clock. And how difficult it can be to stay alive on the hill. And Toronto Ultra clutching up on defense again. Admittedly, OpTic got very close to getting the point, finding that opening. But again, it is like fighting the tide. They are always around, always on point with these gunfights. And it is truly the question. Both of these teams, their defenses have been so good, so strong, that getting towards that B point, it seems like almost an impossibility. Maybe we'll see a couple teams mix it up, go for some full flanks, push through laundry, but neither team finding it easy in the slightest to get over towards that other point.
An opportunity now for OpTic as we're going to watch them in defense once more. It's been strong, as you said, mate. And it is real hard to make the crack on towards A. But there we go. Dashy's going to be the last player here for OpTic to hopefully catch something out. And there it is versus Insight. And Insight wins it. And with that, he wins the 2nd segment at A as well.
And I don't know if his ears were on point or if he's just ready for the gunfight. But nice read. And that's actually 3 down. So again, we're talking about the different ways to go to the point. The flooding through the front hasn't worked for either team. But now you've got OpTic trapped in. You can start playing for kills, start playing for spawn traps. Cleanix is able to find 2. You got Vance working on the full flank. It is everyone stuck in basketball for the moment. You can still defend from this position, but Toronto, at least they have the trap set up.
They got the trap set. Oh my word, Vance. How more can you get? Insight now to save the day. There it is. The trap's still set. And oh my god, OpTic are in a kill box. They can't get out right now. They go to the other side. Insight's there with an easy 6 spree. Oh my word, full streaks are abound. That's a big multi-kill as he slays them out of spawn. Oh, run Insight. Keep it going. Full streaks here would be huge. What a kill! That's full streaks. And Cleanix now the last player on the point as we see the push now develop. Cleanex though, still keeping
just
this one
call him
alive. Call him in. Let it rain. Try to win the round here.
Off spawn, right? There's no reason not to. Call him in. You got bodies on point. There's so much pressure. OpTic going to be forced just to fly out and defend, but the ticks are coming through. You're getting hell rain down from the sky. Formal can find one, but it's still bodies on point. The progression's still going through. Envoy, last-ditch effort, insight for the reads. He gets 2 as well. Still alive on the point, looking for the cap, but the defense apparently strong enough. OpTic still find the kills, and they are still alive. But they got a minute and 45, and they are down 11 lives. Now make it 12.
It's tremendous tenacity from OpTic here, but they have to hold this. 17-6. And his insight, what an unbelievable round he has had. Kills now from Bance, opening towards the stairs. Waiting for the reinforcements. A dodgy nade's going to slow it down, but here comes insight, and he's still got artillery. Here it comes. Ping coming through. That tells him that the player here on the right-hand side. But Formal, an opening now. And all back and forth we go. Can Envoy take care of Bance? No, he can't. Cammy's there. And it's all on Dashy. On Dashy. Here we go, mate. Show us what you're made of in an impossible situation. And he goes out fighting. But Ultra, 3-1. They're on control. A very different look for the first time they met in winners. And Ultra will take the lead here in Elimination Finals.
And they just hit that switch, man. I mean, I think Cleanex is the guy opening all of this up just to get inside in this position and just line him up, knock him down. The best play, getting the full streaks. And again, it was the only moment, really the entire game, where there was any sort of map pressure, but Cleanex inside a kitchen, opening it up with all the pieces he was getting, trapping OpTic inside of basketball, and they just straight up never looked back. I mean, it was miraculous on OpTic's part, just to deal with the crews, just to stay alive, but by the time the smoke clears, you're just down so many lives that it does not make a difference. The turn up from Ultra in game number 3, again, they were perfect in control for such a long time. There's a very clear example as to why, but it seems like phenomenal games out of Cayman Insight, the ARs, but then Cleanex towering above the rest, 6,100 damage. He cannot be stopped.
What an incredible game, and a brilliant bounce back there, and a very dominant one for Ultra. But now, they've taken the lead in this series. We will see what they've got coming up to a hard point after this one, Chance, because again, OpTic have looked so dominant. One of the best looking hard point teams in the world right now. It's got to be said. How do we go into this next one?
I mean, it's the bounce back that we've had from both teams, right? You lose the map, you go into the next one, you just turn up. It is the exact same thing. We talked about the repetitions, the preparation that you have. You've played these maps 1,000 times, and you go into a checkmate. And honestly, this is one of the oldest like square up maps that we have had in the league, where like OpTic was expected to be the very best at it, and Toronto was one of the very first teams to take it to them. Still, though, a map where both of these teams, again, you say it for every single one of them, happy to play, strong on the map. I love the square up fights.
Well, it's going to be a square up. It's going to be a right old duel here on Checkmate coming up after this very quick commercial break. Friends, don't go too far. This is it. Match point for Toronto Ultra. They need to win this one to advance onwards. For OpTic, comeback time starts now. We'll find out if they can get it going after the break. Welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Elimination matchup continues. We're playing for a spot in the Elimination Finals, and it's Toronto Ultra now in the lead. One map away from securing victory here over OpTic Chicago. Now the comeback is got to turn on for OpTic. Let's look at hard points though, Chance. So far in Stage 5 and on Checkmate, the map we're about to play, not so good for Ultra.
I almost can't believe that, but now that I'm thinking about it, it has been quite a few times against quite a few different teams where Toronto have almost been making the exact same mistake. It is like that side P4 hill into the rotation in P5. I mean, I don't know if you remember the call, Miles, when they were playing against LA Thieves, or even Slasher in the Astro listening where it was like, yo, they just messed up. They've made the same almost crucial mistake a few times on Checkmate. So Toronto Ultra, that 0-3 record, I know they love to plan up, but that has been the theme. We got to clean up that one rotation, and they will certainly be in a much better spot.
Well, we'll find out. We're almost ready to get into the map, and again, you saw that for the Game 5. We have to go there. It's Raid, and it's a map that these teams have been on many, many times, and it's not been a kind one to OpTic historically. Not to say it's not impossible, but all I'm saying is it's a lot of round 11s that they've lost. Not one the fans want, but we will see how this series goes. It has been an extraordinary week of Call of Duty, an extremely exciting day. One more map, and this one, Comeback City. Checkmate has fast become a fan favorite. Not maybe if you're watching it for your team, because it's by far the most stressful map to watch. For those neutrals and us enthusiasts, we're in for a real treat here. Checkmate hardpoint, map 4. Match point Toronto Ultra. Here we go.
OpTic's back, maybe against the wall, but again, we talk about how happy they are to see this one for the game number 4. They've been the best team in the game on this map. They've only fallen twice. They've won it 11 times. If there was any safety net these guys ever wanted to have, it would be here in this game number 4 on this map, but still got to execute. Still got to take care of business, because even with that 0-3 through Stage 5, I guarantee you, Ultra not going to be making the same mistake again. They will clean the gameplay up. You got to make sure you take it to them.
Well, we're playing for here again, a spot in the grand finals against Røkkr. OpTic fans going to be heard pouring their way through the esports arena there in Arlington, Texas. It's been one hell of a tournament. We thank you all for coming by. And one of these teams is going to be the end of the road. We'll see just who. As this hard point continues to develop, 15 seconds going the early way of Ultra Chance, and they're looking good. Contests abound. Envoy's here, CleanX with the nades coming through, but again, not an easy hard point to accrue a lot of time on, and OpTic still favourable side of the map, all theirs.
It turns out the nades are probably the biggest problem for OpTic in those couple moments. A couple players getting dropped, but as it stands, not the worst thing in the world for OpTic. You're down by a bit, but you still have the rotation. Of course, on the flip side, I mean, you're going to have a 30-point lead, one breakthrough P2, and you'll be kicking off this game exactly how Ultra ended the last one. They're starting to run the show over towards Tetris and Plane. That is where the swarm is coming from. Envoy and Scump, though, lighting up the feed as they always do on Checkmate. The hold so far, nice and secure. OpTic working on the comeback.
We should see that lead evaporate, really. That's going to be the first player in for Ultra. Insight going to open up the angles. He's not going to make the play without the help, and the kills starting to come through, but the trades are there. Here comes Bans, CleanX lining them up. All over the shots. Great movement, good teamwork out of Ultra. Not quite enough to get the job done though. Envoy still alive on point. Formal will spawn up top right, so OpTic still in a favourable position. Ultra still have a few more shots at this hard point before they should go for it. And this could be the last one. Dashy though, lands his first. Oh wow, Dashy at range gets another one. And CleanX, last man up for his squad. Doing what he can to keep them off the point, and it's not going to be great. OpTic, the lead is theirs. Next hard point should be the way of Ultra.
Kenny playing this pretty well, right? Finds the first pick, is throwing shoulders just to keep these other players at bay, and he's trying to cut off a few different parts of the map for the moment. Trying to make those reads on Envoy, but Envoy buys enough time for his teammates to find the kills, and you pick up all 4 to kick off this hill. You got the full 60 on P2, a strong rotation in this moment, and there's a lot of things happening on this map. Envoy already potentially thinking about flipping those spawns just to be the cutoff man on the map. Does Cannon make the read? He does, but Envoy gets the win, and this has been a ton of time. I mean, 30 seconds nearly coming through on one of the hardest hills to hold. OpTic doing very well so far.
I mean, he does get a little bit of retribution. Full plane control, a little bit of hard point time now. It's Dashy. Bit of tough stuff. Takes a lot of shots there. Map control, though, looks to be the way of Ultra for now, but Dashy's going to do what he can to soften those players up. Good moves from Crimsix, though, again, looking to secure this side of the map now for the next hard point. It's hard point number 4, a few seconds away from popping up. And chance so far, Ultra with a good rotation. Will they be able to hold on to the kills, though? And Dashy making his way towards the lane now, and it's Crimsix, Mr. Cutoff himself.
And Mr. Cutoff himself, well, he's getting tagged up by his teammate. That's not fun. He might be playing for streaks. He actually gets a couple kills taken in front of him. He's on a 5. You play for these, even though it's on checkmate. You are looking for these kills. Be the roaming slayer. Trying to find these openings in the long-range gunfights. Toby looking for just one more for the Cruise. And while this has been happening, his teammates at the very least contesting the hill. You get the close-range gunfights. Who wins the plane? Is it Crimsix? It's Scump, it's Crimsix. There's the artillery. First streak through and the clean forward down. These are the mistakes they've been making where they don't get the spawns for the next hill. This time they do it perfectly. You get the streaks. You get the flip. You get that rotation. The opportunity for Ultra on this next money hill to really start to run the score up.
Well, will they be able to run the score up? While this is all happening, though, again, we need to hear from OpTic. We need to go for a quick listen in and see how they're faring now with their backs against the wall. Time for a quick Astro Gaming listen in with OpTic Chicago.
He's graffiti. You ran back. Yeah, you ran back.
What's their steps? Bans absolute graffiti and what's their steps?
Drop names on time, guys. Drop names.
Steps. One shot off is absolute Crimsix. Running back to their side. Above you, Brandon. One shot. Above you, Brandon. One shot. Above you,
Bomb nades. Where is it?
Bomb nades. Yep.
What's
He in plane?
Crimsix? I have your help, Seth?
He could be right. Left wing. He's still left wing. Looking for him.
Yo, their steps. Exit inside weak.
What's all left for some
So here's
shit?
just shell left side.
Jumped out. Inside jumped out. And one's front time. He's bottom plane again. He's challenging you. Yeah, he's weak as fuck low left. He's going around. Be control.
Don't worry. They're playing steps. They're playing steps. They're playing steps. One's
probably hitting low right.
Yeah, watch your low right.
Low right, guys. Low right.
No, one more. I'm trying to make plays right, I think. I'm trying to look for it.
I don't see him.
I'm bottom plane right now.
I've been playing.
Thing here. Bans on old. Thing right.
Yeah, just play rotation. I've been playing.
Be right.
Yeah, one's going front tower right now.
Everyone tee up right here, boy. Let's go.
Yep. I'm watching a search push there. You guys have left?
Yeah, I have left. I have left. Bans set it old. Trying to play stairs side. Low left. I think they're right, dude.
Exit dead. Oh, right, close small. I dropped a nade on him. He might be weak. He's tall.
It's small. They're exit weak.
Yo, jumping up a little bit.
I drop in.
One shot. Nice. Yo, they're playing the stairs. I have right.
Exit inside. One shot. Absolute. Went under exit to low left pallets.
That's picking up left.
Under exit.
Pick up left. Pallets weak.
Exit dead. Two more. I got two. One more. It's small.
One's pallets.
It's small weak. Crimsix. We gotta try these guys, bro.
Left pants. Weak. One shot to the left. Absolute pants. He's bottom plane. Absolute.
Just a team that is in the throes of a difficult situation, but OpTic still sounding pretty good. What do you make of the comms?
I mean, maybe not as much of the small talk game plan that they usually have, but they've just been fighting on the back foot. I like the idea of like, hey, we can still do this. We need to turn up. And they close the gap a little bit on P1, but again, the rotations is where OpTic have been incredible in hardpoint today. In important gunfights. Envoy's got one next to him that he's not ready for, and Bans just walks straight through. You open up the P2, but the parallels come through. Bans with the pressure on, the nade able to clean up one. Playing with this food, he gets dropped, but his teammates are there, and they do it by just walking through the front of the hill.
Oh, Envoy, what a two-piece! This is giving his teammates the time to get their way forward. Any more? Yes, indeed. Finds 3, but still, here come the rest of OpTic. On to the point. Scump. Trying to be the frontline man. He's going to get the contest here. Big shots, big kill on the Crimsix. Trades come through. But that is a great return serve. As again, a difficult hand to be dealt as Toronto are still firmly in the driver's seat.
I mean, you gotta imagine too as well, like that 3-piece from Envoy, that is a 3-piece for survival, not even for a ton of time. Backs against the wall, tried and true. They're gonna be down by 100 points, which admittedly on checkmate, not the largest lead, but oh my God, you are still gonna have to play damn near perfectly. They had the most success really on this P3 hill. They found all the kills right before the hill pops, and they have nearly done so once again. Still going to be about these 50-50 fights. It is the ARs underneath the plane, the long lines of sight, Dashy trying to stay alive, doing the best he can. But again, if you're thinking Ultra, it is much easier, much more comfortable. Just don't lose the spawns. You can play for picks. You can afford to trade away a little bit of hill time as long as you are keeping that control and continue to just completely shut Formal down.
Gotta keep shutting him down. Right now, Formal's so difficult for him to get anything going. 5 and 17. He has been getting a stroke of bad luck from times, but it's very difficult to play against this Ultra squad. The teamwork too much. Bance taken care of there by Scump. Over to the point we go. 20 seconds remaining on this one. Not so hot in either team's hands. CleanX is brought down. This is good time for OpTic if they can get it. Again, looking towards next hard point, top side of the map. It was going to be Formal in position there, but he's first in, baited out, killed again by Insight. You've got to make the play. Across map now for OpTic. It's Toronto. They are eyes on the spawns. They're doing what they can, as is Bance, and this is huge work out of Toronto.
And right now, Toronto, I mean, look at the 4 players they have on the map. They are literally everywhere on the map, and they get enough kills to at least get the clearance on the point. 30 points away, and they have their spot in the grand finals. Streaks being used, and honestly, it's the information that is going to be the important thing. He finds 2. The man on the flank gets dropped in Ultra on a tear in this game number 4, completely shutting OpTic down. All of the kills going their way. Run them up, knock them down, Bance drops a few more, 5 seconds away, and they're gonna get it. The last ditch effort is Cammy, actually the last one alive. OpTic have survived, but for how long?
For how long? It's gonna be so hard. As Dashy's multi-kills come through, CleanX, he goes down again, but that might be it. It's the last contest. Envoy once again holding the line. A few more seconds. You can't let them get that time, and they're not gonna have it, but no one is near the next point. Everyone has to run across. A decent spawn from Envoy. So here's the foot race now as Cammy making his way across the map. And again, you cannot let Ultra get onto that point. Cammy's going to do what he can. Envoy locking it down. Dashy backing him up. The kills start coming through. Chance it has to be perfect. From here on out, can OpTic do it?
It was 247, 135, but already it's CleanX because of course it is. Walks into the hill, finds one that trades a rid, and GG, run it up. Welcome to the grand finals, Toronto Ultra. Just like that, getting it done. And for a team that through the major was struggling in hardpoint, to get dominant wins like that, I mean, taking the cakewalk through so many hills. Just walking their way through the front, and CleanX there time and time again. Ultra undefeated with this roster against OpTic Chicago, and that is another notch in their cap. Is now the story for the Ultra. They get to look for revenge. They're looking to be on top once again as champions. They got Minnesota Røkkr standing in their way, who beat them earlier, but good Lord, what a series. They just provided us with a 5-point game in the first hard point. Wild scenes we saw on Moscow. And even for the control, a very back and forth moment until Toronto Ultra flipped that switch, said no, completely shut OpTic down in that 5th and final round. And well, they absolutely carried that into the hard point. Dominant win to find their way to the grand finals.
The final score, 3-1. Toronto Ultra, stats on your screen, and what an effort it was from OpTic. What an incredible run. So many good teams they brought down along the way, but Toronto continue to prove to be their bane here in these majors. Will it be the case in playoffs? We will find out in a short time, but for now, Toronto Ultra proved to be the superior team once again. Incredible teamwork from them, incredible tenacity, even when down so hard. CleanX, what a performance from him, Chance. That 7th spree was something else. And now, an opportunity for them to go into that grand finals once again against Minnesota Røkkr. Ladies and gentlemen, our scuff play of the game. Giving it to CleanX. The man was unstoppable at times. A phenomenal run it was. The man did everything he possibly could, Chance, and the Great Dane strikes again.
And look at where this spree starts, right? This is Ultra when they're down by 20 points. This was after the first 2 hills where OpTic's locking down the full 60, having a nice rotation in P3. But as he is going on this spree, it is the moment where all 4 for OpTic go down Toronto. I mean, it is just the perfect feed. They wipe them out as they get the streaks. And from here, they literally never looked back. They were down in the score before that moment. But my God, what a turnaround that they had. And there is one thing left for the Ultra to try and do. Starting in winners round 1, the first time they got beat, it was Røkkr that knocked them down. But it is Ultra rising up from the losers to try to get that revenge. The ultimate tried and true, and it happens at stage 5, the real battle for the North.
There has never been a truer battle for the North, indeed. Well, there we go. Looking at the money so far, We will see OpTic third place, $80,000 richer, and a congratulations to them. Commiserations, of course, not what they wanted, but a third place finish. But here we go, friends. Speaking of the cash, again, first and second yet to be decided. It's champs, though. It's playoffs. That's what we're talking about still. Still excited for that one. Cannot wait to see what happens later on in the year. The final event of the 2021 Call of Duty League season. And man alive, cannot wait to see how that one goes down. For Ultra, again, looking to go the distance. What will they do at the Galen Center this August 19th to the 22nd? What will OpTic do? And how loud will those OpTic fans be in Los Angeles? Again, Anaheim has been the sort of spiritual home of Call of Duty for so many years now. We hope we can get a little bit of that magic here in LA, the playoffs and championships. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so tempted to say it. What a day. Chance, what a day. What a tournament. What a week it's been. It's good to have fans back. It's been one hell of a day, man. I mean, the truest Battle of the North is about to take place before all of our eyes. No one saw Røkkr making it this far. Not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin did I expect to see Røkkr in a grand finals this major. Unbelievable performance from them. Unbelievable stuff out of Seattle Surge. Unbelievable across the board. Everyone. Amazing. Beautiful. Exceptional. Resplendent. Doink. Very, very good stuff, mate. What about you? How are you feeling about this major?
I mean, the major's been incredible, right? Again, if you're trying to watch back like every single series that's important, you start off with Atlanta versus Seattle because what the hell? One of the best series of all time. I mean, completely nutty stuff, but I think the situation now for the grand finals, Minnesota, they have it. Whatever it is, the magic, the game plan, like the ease of play that they have had, that is the code that Toronto Ultra are going to have to crack because it was a 3-0 the last time the guys played. It was Toronto undefeated in S&D until they met Røkkr, and Røkkr's over here beating them on some of their best maps. So I don't know how to expect it or explain it from the side of Minnesota, but I mean, at this point, it is a long series that we are going to have in the grand finals, that best of 9, and at least for the side of Toronto, they have the experience. They've been there before.
Strap yourselves in, friends. It's going to be one hell of a tournament. Again, I think that's it for Chance and I think we're almost ready to get this finals underway, or at least get us to a commercial break. But thank you again. It's all from myself and Chance. This has been one hell of a tournament. We hope you enjoyed the show. Grand finals still coming up next. We will see you after the break, and we'll see you at Champs.
Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armour your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. As OpTic's journey in Major 5 comes to an end, another journey begins. They have done it, people. Ultra find themselves in the tournament final despite the hardships that have been thrown at them this week. They progress, and now they face the ultimate test in the form of another Battle of the North. This is how things have shaken out this major. It has been quite the bumpy ride, and like Miles said, I don't think many people kind of thought that Røkkr was going to be in that tournament final, but here we go. They're right there. The Battle of the North is at its finest, and I cannot wait to see these two teams battle it out on stage. Now, gentlemen, welcome back to the HQ. It's lovely having both of you here as always. I've got to say, that was difficult to watch, I think, as an OpTic fan. You know, we talked about what they needed to do here, what they needed to clean up on. I think S&D looked pretty good from their perspective. A hard point at the end there, just they couldn't get anything going. There were certain situations and decisions that they just couldn't really kind of correct on the fly, and Ultra really pressurizing them there. I want to know as a whole, you know, what did you make of this series? Stud, I'll start with you.
I thought the series was great for both teams, especially on the side of Ultra, man. They were playmakers in the respawns. Cammy had himself at least a series, and also CleanX. When they needed to go big in those final moments, that's when those guys really turned up. Like, the fact that you always are consistently trying to keep track of where these players are on a map like Checkmate, like, that was one of OpTic's strongest hardpoint games. But just the way that the SMGs were really playing, it was catching them off guard. Formal could not get anything going. He just couldn't get set up, so it was a really difficult game for him. But I just feel like Ultra, they came to play today, and it looked like a totally different team from yesterday when they played versus Røkkr.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cammy and CleanX, I think you hit the nail on the head there. They were absolutely phenomenal in this series throughout, and on the flip side for OpTic, it's just disappointing for them to show up and lose two hard points like that. You think back to Maps 1 and Map 3, where they had an opportunity to win both of those games. At the very end of Map 1, when Formal hesitates there at top green, if he just plays a corner, they probably run away with that game. It's a totally different series. You think about Map 3, which we'll get into in an analysis clip in a bit, where, you know, Cammy gets a big two-piece mid-map. It's just a couple small moments that ended up costing OpTic in the end. But either way, they still played a great series. They could have won that, so there's hope for the future.
Yeah, definitely. Look, hey, it was a bit of a flip from the series that we saw previous. It kind of was a bit strange kind of watching that unfold there, but Ultra, they're a strong team. They also know what to do to take down teams as well. They have that kind of, you know, that VOD review. They have that knowledge. They have that experience. They've been in this situation before. OpTic haven't. So, yeah, I think buckled under pressure potentially for OpTic, but I'm really excited to see them in champs as well. Now, we have a bit of analysis, as Nameless did say, and Stud, you're going to be up first, mate. Hard point, talk to me. Ultra looking damn good. What did you notice?
Yeah, so Nameless touched on it a little bit. This is the biggest play of that game, number one. Like, OpTic put themselves in a position to close out this game, but Ultra was somehow, some way able to win it. So right here on the ending of this P2, you see Formal, he comes up and gets that kill right there. So that's going to be 3 down. Everyone is starting to spawn all the way across the map. OpTic are in a position to win this game. Formal, all you have to do is just sit in the corner. At least pick up one before you drop. But he decides to early shoot, turns around, throws a nade, and then just gives up his life for free. Eventually, Ultra able to flood out of top green, get the contest going, and force it to another hill. And right here, OpTic, they just put all their cookies into the basket to try to close it out here. But once Formal makes that play, doesn't play discipline, and just doesn't pick up that kill, that is what costs them. Because then, off the rotation, Ultra are already there early. They're cutting off the mid-map to make it so much more difficult for any player on Chicago to try to get pushed up. And they eventually were able to close out that game, man. I feel like if Formal, like I said, if he just sits in the corner, at least gets one kill, they're able to close out that game. That's not what happens, and then they eventually lose the series.
It's kind of crazy. It just shows you how difficult it is. If you make one mistake, it really does like completely just throw the rest of the series off, or throw the rest of the game off, sorry. Yep. So it's really crucial that these small mistakes get cleaned up in moments like this, because, you know, at the end of the day, you don't have a second chance. Now, speaking of second chances, my second analysis tape is going to come from Nameless. Mate, talk to me about Control, what you saw there. I believe you're going to talk us through, is it round 2?
I think it's round 3. But yeah, OpTic had an opportunity here. They were down and out in this round, and they were able to regain control with a couple big kills and big plays out of players like Scump. But ultimately here, they lose a big 2-piece gunfight to Cammy to lose the map. And then going into the next round, some crazy stuff happens as well. But let's break down this play here. So OpTic was down in lives, but they're able to get on through and get through to the B point. And right now, Ultra's just doing their best to get kills and get back into control of this map. But OpTic, they're holding strong onto the point here. Insight wins a big gunfight, but Envoy follows them up. So this is exactly what you want if you're OpTic. You're getting these trades, you're regaining control of the point, and you're stopping that clock so your teammates can get close. Scump gets another big kill on top of water steps, and right now, OpTic's in a great situation, but the players mid, you saw them creeping up Zig for OpTic. That's Dashy and Formal. If they would just hold that angle for a split second and make sure nobody can get through water stairs, they could hold that off and potentially win that round. And going into the next one, you saw how Bance got up and around, back through top basketball, and trapped OpTic into that basketball point. It was just tough for OpTic, man. They have these small opportunities where they throw it, but either way, like I said, they're still looking solid going into champs.
Small mistakes and then 200 IQ plays coming across from Ultra as well. Ultra definitely made it very, very hard to bounce back from any of those situations there. But thank you so much for that, gentlemen. Now, I've got to ask you about our tournament final, because as you know, it's the Battle of the North yet again. And I'm very excited for this one. Røkkr, Ultra, just based on the way that these two teams are playing, I'm excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be pretty good, and I hope it goes the mile. I need your pick'ems, gents. I really do need these pick'ems. So, Stud, who are you going to be going with?
I think I'm going to be taking Ultra in this series, man. They've already been in this format, in that best of 9. They got the job done versus FaZe, and they look like a completely different team than yesterday, man. Getting 3-0 versus Røkkr, you can just tell. That's going to light a little bit of a fire underneath them to come out totally different today. Just the way that Cammy's playing, the way that Cleanix is playing, you're definitely going to need those guys to step up, because Cleanix yesterday, he was held to a 0.8. But today, if he's going to play like that, at least the way he played versus OpTic, I feel like they have a good chance of taking this one.
And I'm switching it up, man. I'm going with the Minnesota Shocker. These guys just look unbelievable. They've shocked everybody. They wiped the stage with the Toronto Ultra in the last match that they had. I mean, Standy, the guy's been going off every single map, every single game mode. He's just an absolute beast. And what they did so great against Toronto Ultra was they shut down the subs. They shut down Bance. They shut down Cleanix, giving them no wiggle room. And the guys have only lost 2 maps so far in this tournament. So I think that Minnesota Røkkr, they're the kings of the North, and they take this championship.
Well, you know I love it when you guys choose opposing teams, because the green room is going to be lit. We're going to get very, very excited in a moment. I hope you guys do too. Well, I'll tell you what, friends, fans, it is time to throw to our final game of the night. And it comes down to this. The stage is set for Røkkr and Ultra, and they're going to be battling it out to see who is going to take the title of this major. Maven and Merker with you for the ride, and they'll see you guys right after the break.
The 2021 Call of Duty League MVP, powered by Astro Gaming. Introducing your nominees. Cammy, Toronto Ultra. Cammy has been competing in Call of Duty for a few years now, but it wasn't until his 2021 season that he really started turning heads. The Toronto Ultra firmly established themselves as one of the top dogs in the league after their Stage 2 major victory, with Cammy finally receiving the wide respect that his talents deserve.
He's got style, he's got grace, he's all over the place.
And you're doing it literally all himself.
One of the most explosive flex players in the league, Cammy's always ready to score that clutch 2 or 3 piece to maintain his team setup.
Oh my god, Cammy! What the hell was that?
aBeZy, Atlanta FaZe. aBeZy is the perfect example of a run and gun type of SMG. Whenever we watch the Atlanta FaZe play, aBeZy's the one we see sprinting into engagements head on, melting his opponents 2 or 3 at a time before he pushes their spawns to do it all over again.
He's gonna go for the challenge up top, and oh, baby, aBeZy. aBeZy does manage to land the kill. Insight's up next. Heavy tags, Vance. Oh my god, aBeZy! Oh my god! aBeZy, you are a freak! What the hell was that 3-piece?
aBeZy's scary enough in the respawns, but he's absolutely terrifying when it comes to search and destroy. He is the indisputable king of First Bloods, boasting the highest First Blood per game stat of any player in the league by a considerable margin.
aBeZy finds another one. It could be the full ace if he can catch Diamondcon. The shots are in. Diamondcon, run. Don't let it happen. He's coming round the corner. That's the 8th for aBeZy. And what a massive round.
Cellium, Atlanta FaZe. From his knowledge and usage of the most obscure power positions to his slippery movement across the map, Cellium's one of those players whose thousands of hours of grind time come through very clearly in his playstyle.
Pushed forward, 4 now for Cellium. Whoa, 5 for Cellium. Oh my god, 6! Cellium cannot be stopped!
You can always rely on Cellium to stay alive in key spots during the respawns, and when it comes to the search and destroys, very few players pull off 1vX clutches as consistently as Cellium.
Spotted him! He spotted him in the beams already! Cell clutches the 1v2! 30 seconds on the clock, and Cellium a huge win, a huge finesse, and a little drop shot, hop, skippy, do whatever you want to call it.
And there you have it, your final 3 nominees for the 2021 Call of Duty League MVP, powered by Astro Gaming.
The major is around the corner.
Here it comes. The Giants, the Titans, the Titans.
The best player in the world.
It is going to be one hell of a tournament.
This was just absolutely insane.
This is the COD League. One of the craziest sequences I've ever seen in my life.
Rookie unbeatable.
Oh my